Hi y'all, if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, welcome. My name is Amira and my channel is all about trying new makeup, talking about new makeup, but also finding new and exciting ways to be inspired by the makeup you already own. If that sounds good to you, I hope you'll consider subscribing, and if you enjoyed today's video, hitting the like button. Today, guys, I promised you, I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna get it up, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna film the video today, and this will be today's video because I want to play with this. I got it yesterday. It was sitting in the box. I'm talking about the new Pat McGrath 5-pan, and the one that I chose was Bronze Bliss. So I wasn't really interested in the sort of neutral rosy tone one because, you know. But this one really caught my eye. Look at that. And yes, it's got golds. I mean, we know how Pat loves her golds, but this just calls to me in this like grungy grayish black. It's like a dark, deep, dark gray that almost looks black, but isn't. And I love those tones. But yeah, let's play with this today. And then also I think what I want to do is maybe show you guys a couple of palettes that Pat has released previously that kind of harken back to this a little bit. Some shades that kind of like stood out to me when I looked at this. There was a couple of palettes that I was just like, this kind of reminds me of that. Let's get into it. All right, so let's do some swatches. Since there are 5 shades, I'm going to swatch them on my fingers. So I'm going to do this one that I just stabbed my nail in. We're not going to talk about that because I'm very sad about it, but I fixed it. We're going to do the shimmers first, the metallics first. Oh my goodness, that is flaky. Okay, so these are the shimmers in the palette. This one is incredibly flaky. You see all of that texture? I just rubbed my finger in it once and this is what I got. So yeah, that is very textured, but these are the golds. This one is very much almost like a so cool tone that it's almost silver, but not. It's very pretty. I think this one is going to be very interesting to play with. I'm going to try to incorporate all of these. I mean, it's 5 shades, so I'm going to try to incorporate all of these as much as I can. We shall see. And then let me show you the matte, but oh, look at that. This is after I've wiped my fingers off and it's still like, these are very impactful, which I'm not surprised by. So, I mean, it's Pat, you know, she loves a gold. So let's do the gray black. Look at that. Oh, look at that tone. If it'll focus, I don't know if it will. There we go. Look at that tone, guys. See how it's not black. It's gray. I said black, but I'm like, no, it's gray. It's deep, rich gray, which I like even more. So let's get into it. I'm gonna do what I did with the previous video, and I'm gonna play on one eye, play around with the shades, see what I want to do, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about it and do the other eye. Okay, gang, I am back. This is the eye look that I came up with, and I'm in love. This is what I wanted. I wanted grungy, textured, golden, platinum, bronzy goodness, and this is what this is giving me. I love this eye so much. Let me zoom you guys in so you can see it a little bit better. This is what it looks like. I have used all 5 shades on my eye. This, remember I told you I swatched that really textured, like metallic, it's like so pale gold that it's almost silver. That's what is on the bulk of this is what is on my eye, or that is what's on my eye. And then I have a little bit of the lighter tone speckled on top and in the inner corner. I used the other 2 metallics here, and then of course that gray, that blackened gray is taking up most of the eye. So let's get into it. I'm going to do the other eye on camera and we can talk about the shades and my feelings after doing the first eye. So first off, I'm really happy with this palette so far. I think it's a beautiful palette, which I knew it would be. Like, I kind of knew that Pat was going to bring it with this because she's actually really good at this type of thing. Like, she's good at these like grungy tones. She doesn't do them as much as she used to in her her older motherships, you know, now she's kind of dropped on that, you know, pinky tone craze train that I'm not the biggest fan of, because I don't actually think that's where her strength lies. I mean, I don't think they're bad by any stretch of the imagination, but the things that sort of attracted me to her brand was the fact that she was, you know, doing really interesting, you know, shades. Like Subliminal is my favorite Pat McGrath palette, and it has that sort of cool tone grunge thing going on that this one has, that I just really enjoy. Like really enjoy. And this matte, this blackened gray is really nice. I will say it is pigmented, but it's not too pigmented. It does allow you to build it up so you don't have to worry about going on, you know, applying too much. I will say this, like, just don't like immediately like dip your brush into the pan and just go in like that, because it is more on the powdery side than a lot of her shades have been in the past. And I would say it's the same with the full-size Celestial Nirvana, the Big Kahuna holiday palette. I would say it's the same with that one as well, because I feel like that one is a bit more on the powdery side for the colorful tones, and I feel like the formula here is quite similar in that sense, but still incredibly pigmented, incredibly easy to blend. I'm now dipping into that really metallic-y, like flaky shade. I did spray my brush when I was using that because I just, you know, I'm not about like that fallout life right now. And again, like I said before with her palettes, and especially like when you're dealing with her, these kinds of tones, is do your eyes first. Do as I say, not as I do. You know, and when I say that, I'm saying that because, you know, like I'm filming a video, and so I have this stuff done so that I can get right to the eye look for you guys, and I'm completely out of focus. There we go. I can get right to the eye look for you guys, but I highly recommend, if you're doing, you know, you're using this on your own time, to do your eyes first so that you don't have to deal with fallout, because her palettes are incredibly, you know, her shimmers are incredibly flaky and you will get fallout. And if you don't want that, just do your eyes first. And I'm just bringing this up a little bit under the brow bone. This is what I have here. It's actually more intense on this side because I went in a little ham, and then I had to kind of back it up, you know, back off of it a little bit. So I'll kind of even that out a little bit. But yeah, I just went in like so, and then I'm gonna take the same brush, which is one of my rougher 21 brushes, which I use for all of my packing on all of my shimmers and metallics. It's my favorite brush for that. I'm gonna spray it again, and I'm using the same one. I just flipped it, cleaned it off and flipped it, and we're gonna apply that here, and I'm actually applying it all the way under. Like so. And then I'm going to take that other shade, and I'm going to apply that one kind of similarly so that they're kind of layered on top of each other. But you just still get to see both. I'm then going to take that lighter shade that I was using, and that goes into my inner corner. Make sure that that goes all the way up to match this side. And then I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm using the MAC pencil I call in Smolder, which is just a black. And I'm going to tight line as well. Because with an eye like this, you have to go all in. There's no point in half-assing it. Don't half-ass your smoky eyes, guys. If you're gonna commit to a smoky eye, commit to a smoky eye. All right, I'm gonna do my mascara off camera because I hate doing mascara on camera. All right, guys, I am back. I have applied my mascara on this eye, and I applied a black lippy because I'm like, if I'm gonna go there, I wanna go there. So I used my Give Me Glow liquid lipstick in Black Friday. This is the old formulation and old packaging. I think it has new packaging, and I know I believe they reformulated, so, but you can still get this shade which is just, you know, it's black. But if you are interested in it, you can still get this. It's just in a different packaging and slightly different formulation, which I'm hoping is better. This one can be a little bit thinner, a little bit drier, but it's one of the two black liquid lipsticks that I own. I kind of want to get a black bullet lipstick. Kind of do. Maybe I'll add that to my list with wish list items. Anyway, let's talk about this palette. Okay, here she is. Here she is again. She's stunning. I have to say, I'm really impressed with this. I think that, first of all, I love the new sort of component and the new formatting for this. She, in the previous holiday collections that she's always come out with quads. And last year I was a little bit a lot underwhelmed by the quads. There was one that I liked, and there's one that I just didn't think served any purpose because it was sort of like a retread of things that she's done before. But this format of the 5-pan I think is so nice, and I think I hope she continues this. I hope this sells well enough that she continues to use this formatting going forward for holiday palettes. Overall, I mean, I've only tried 2 items so far, but I will say, looking at both collections as a whole, like looking at what last year's collection was versus what this year's holiday collection is, I think this collection, the 2022 holiday collection, the Celestial Nirvana collection, is better than last year's. Now, I prefer last year's Mega palette. Like I said in my review of Celestial Nirvana, I love the colorful mattes in that palette, and I can't wait to play with those more. But Celestial Divinity was just a much more usable and user-friendly palette, I think. And for me, it was my favorite palette of 2021. So I think that was the large palette was better, but the collection overall this year is better than last year's. I just think she's kind of hit it out of the park with the way that she's formatted things, and, you know, the way that she's introduced new things that weren't available in her collection, like 5 pans. You know, she's done 6 pans, she's done 4 pans, she's never done a 5-pan. And I enjoy that. And I wish that the other palette was maybe a bit more interesting. I would have picked it up because, again, I think the formula in this palette is stunning. And what I like about this is that these are not special shades. These are metallics, but they're like really good metallics. I mean, really good metallics. And for me, I know everyone, you know, raves about her special shades, and I do like her special shades. But for me, a lot of the times I feel like Pat's metallics get overlooked because she does really good metallics, guys. And she does really good metallics. I don't know why my eyelid is itching right here. I feel like I have a cat hair on my face. Anyway, her metallics are some of the best metallics on the market. They just are. And I think that they kind of get overlooked because of the special shades. And a lot of people, when it comes to Pat, are so focused on the special shades that they, sort of with the Celestial Nirvana, a lot of people are like, it doesn't have a special shade, so I'm not going to buy it. Celestial Divinity didn't have her special shades, but that palette has some of my favorite Pat McGrath metallics in my collection. Okay, so I'm saying this, I think, is a great option. If you're not interested in spending $82, these 5 pans are $36 hairs, guys. $36. I think that's a great deal. That is, let's see, a dose of colors 5-pan is $36. You can get a Pat McGrath fan for $36. I like Dose of Colors, but I would prefer the Pat McGrath because you get some really amazing metallic formulations. So if you want to pick something up from this collection, but you do not want to drop your whole wallet and your whole paycheck, pick up one of these. In fact, pick this one up. The other one, I hate to say it, guys, you don't need that. No, honestly, no one needed that. I wish she had done something different with that one. I get why she did that. I think she was trying to make the 5 pans more utilitarian since she had come out with such a large, colorful palette. I get it, sis. I get it. I just feel like that's a retread of a million other palettes that she's released and other people have released. Some may feel that way about this one as well, but Pat doesn't actually like have a lot of these tones as far as like over her overall collection. There are specific palettes that have them, but they are discontinued, my dears. So I'm going to show you the palette that I think that this kind of reminded me of, and you tell me what you think, but you can't get that palette anymore. So I'm saying if you want these tones from her, that like black and gray tone, cool tone shades, matte, this is a great option. But let me show you the palette that it reminded me of, and you tell me what you think. So I actually grabbed two palettes because as I was going through my Pat McGrath drawer, and yes, I have a whole drawer full of Pat McGrath. It's just Pat McGrath. It's her drawer. Nothing else is allowed in that drawer. This kind of reminded me of it, but the difference here is this 6-pan is a combination of sort of warm tones and cool tones. And this is the 6-pan palette that is called the Subliminal Dark Star. This is what that looks like. And you see that dark and gray there, and then you see that kind of cool toned gold. This is the first thing I thought of because this was the last time she released something like this, y'all. And this is some years old. I mean, it's not going anywhere in my collection, but this is like the first set of holiday 6-pans that she ever released. She doesn't release holiday 6-pans anymore. So that tells you how, how a while ago this was. But this is the first one that it made me think of, and I'll show you what they look like here. They're not the same, but do you get what I mean here? Like the color story of like these rich golds and bronzy tones with this darkened black and gray. And even this gray is darker than this one. It kind of is like a marriage between these two shades. But do you see what I'm talking about here? It made me think of this one. But the metallics make me think of this one. And this is one of the first 6-pans that she released. She recently opened her vault and re-released her 6-pans for a limited time. And I don't think they're available anymore. I think they sold out and then she took them off the website. So they are no longer available. If you didn't get them, I'm sorry, they're gone. Maybe she will re-release them again. So this is, what is this one called? This is, yeah, Platinum Bronze. So this is Bronze Bliss and this is Platinum Bronze. Do you see the coolness of the metallics? But these metallics are better than these metallics. Okay, there's more texture to them. But do you see what I mean? Those are the two palettes that this one kind of makes me there. It's kind of like the cousin, the sister cousin, like a Targaryen, a sister cousin, If you get the reference, you get the reference. It kind of is in that family of tones, but this is still different. So if you own those two, like I do, this is different enough for me to justify purchasing this because similar, but not the same. Similar, but not the same. See what I'm saying? So, yes, can't get these anymore. And these were 65 doll hairs each. This is 36. 36. And I think that she still has a code available if I can remember. I'll look it up and see if it's still active because she's been releasing her collection in like bits and pieces, which has been annoying, I'm not gonna lie. But she has a kit where you can get both of the 5-pans plus the large pan for I think $136, which is a really good deal because a mothership is $125 for one mothership. With that, you get 3 palettes. And then she has another kit where you can get both of the 5-pans. And then these, of course, are 36. The 5-pans are 36 each. So if I can remember and there's still a code active, I will put it in the description box. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think. Have you been on the fence about this palette and you weren't sure? Did my review change your mind? Are you more excited about this palette now that you've seen it? Are you picking up anything from this collection? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye now.